Let's go. Part
I,
number
I,
two
I would,
starts. Here, I
sorry.
noticed that Giovanni, sweetheart, you were pointing like here when Tony Daniels was kind of asking the question to Tony Guri. Are you the whole day kind of monologuing with yourself or dialoguing with yourself? So why did you do this? Tell me.
Because you are right. I do monologue or dialogue with myself a lot. It seems
Really?
so strange. It seems so ridiculous, but it happens.
Is it a problem or is there
No,
an issue with
not
this?
no,
Hmm.
no.
Yeah,
But it's so
beautiful.
strange because sometimes today I was walking in the beach in the morning and this thing was going on in my mind. And I said, to whom to whom I am talking to? Yeah, the whole set of appearances is just in the mind, including the mind. So there is nothing that can be defined. There is nothing that can be determined. And the mind keeps playing with these non-determined things. It's so strange sometimes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's
Very
no,
interesting.
yeah, what to say.
Say something.
I would say there's just awareness and there's no awareness.
You say something.
There is only mind and there is no mind, which is the same.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
We can flip words.
Yeah.
So, but
I like I like
sorry.
to use the word mind because you can start from the average person, the everyday person, from duality. And you tell this person, look, everything that you see, everything that you perceive can only be in your brain, in your mind. And I prompt him to give examples. Can you give me an example of anything that is not in your mind? He may say, oh yes, there is someone in the other city, a relative of mine. I say, yes, but that's just an image. And the image is in your mind right here, right now. And in the end, you say, including the mind. The mind is just a concept. So, you know, we arrive at a certain border, a certain limit. From there, this kind of logic cannot go further. Something.
Wait, you know what's popping up here? One speaker, I don't know who it was. I guess it was Rose. I love her, by the way, the Dutch lady. She sometimes mentions the word, this is a misunderstanding. This kind of function of the brain, like this abstraction. She says to this is a misunderstanding. And I'm like I don't know, I love nature, natural. When something naturally pops up with the average person, that there is an abstraction happening me in my life, how can this be a misunderstanding? Why? I can only see the perfection in this, being able to abstract,
Yeah.
splitting me and my
Well, I
life.
think I think I
Taking,
think she's
take,
talking about what is sometimes called a mistake of the intellect. It's the same thing as misunderstanding.
Yeah.
A mistake of
uh,
the intellect, taking yourself to be this limited
yes,
personal self.
separated
Yeah.
So
being.
that's called a mistake of the intellect. I think it actually comes from some Vedantic scripture somewhere. So you're making a mistake in taking yourself to be limited, because what you really are is unlimited.
Ah,
Or
sorry, but this is, yeah.
you could say that the mistake.
Doesn't resonate with you, Rosa?
No, because it's everything. So
Yeah,
there
but
is simply,
in a way, he's saying that because your unlimited is everything.
I don't agree with,
Exactly.
I don't agree with you are unlimited because there is simply the you in it in a way, you know? You are
Yeah, yeah.
unlimited.
Well,
It's
it's
kind of
just
arrogant, very arrogant. It's
okay. Well, wait a
you
minute.
are
Wait a minute.
God.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I can understand that some words maybe you don't resonate with, and that's just a personal thing. But no, but as Sanders says, it's really saying the same thing because if you're unlimited, it means there are no boundaries, right? There's no boundaries, and therefore that's all inclusive, right? It includes everything.
When
So
everything is
that's
white, there is no white.
Yeah.
There
When
yeah.
is no
everything
what?
is this, there is no this. So in a way, I know this, the sounding of you are unlimited is not so much
The
like,
you,
but
in a way, with
in the way how it's put, but in the way it's pointing to the same thing,
yeah,
Rosa.
yeah, 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 yeah. But the thing
Yeah.
with you, when you speak
Yeah.
about you, it's like the person. It's for me, you is the idea.
No, the you for me isn't the person.
Yeah, you see. So where to
But
start?
it's easier
You
to
see,
say
yeah, yes.
this is
When
unlimited. Sounds greater, no? This is unlimited. Well, it's not
Yeah, for
needed
me,
to
it's
say
also more like,
you are
yeah,
unlimited. Well,
yeah, when I
yeah,
say
not.
you, I think I'm talking about the impersonal.
yeah,
But
yeah. And
this,
So
this
here
is
you
like,
go. You see, you guys, here you go. It's the matter of linguistics. It's
yeah,
just
yeah, yeah,
talking.
yeah,
yes,
It's
talking
the
is
whole
about
time it's the
linguistics.
same. So when he says you, he's not pointing to the personal you as the you having a life and having a wife and whatever. No, the impersonal, which is this. We can call this you.
Yes, that's
There's
it.
nothing
That's it.
separated from this, nothing separated from you. So
Yes,
when
but
you
it's
is all there is,
misleading.
there
It's
is no you.
misleading. It's not needed to speak about you. This is
Well,
unlimited.
misleading for whom? For whom is it misleading then?
For who misunderstands.
Well, but
How can the
misunderstanding
you
is never
be
for
personal?
anyone.
Yes, yes.
Yeah,
So here,
because the personal is always changing, appearing just at every moment is something different. So how can that be you?
Yeah.
so misunderstanding is never for anyone, as is understanding.
Of course.
Some people call misunderstanding the fact that something in the mind projects an outside and an inside. Could that be a mistake?
Well, that's just a matter of, an outside and the inside. It's again just language.
Misunderstanding can apply to so many different
This has no
situations, though,
position.
can't it?
There's no inside. If it's looked upon, there is no inside anywhere or an outside when it comes to
Yes,
this.
there is not. But
But
some,
you, but for practical, so-called practical reasons, these things seem to have certain purpose, and this is mixed. This is misundertaken or misunderstand it. It's the same with saying you have to love yourself. It sounds so normal. It's already a misunderstanding. It needs two. You and some other you who love yourself. It's the same when somebody says you have to go inside.
Rosa is thinking.
no, in a way,
Just to
it's
go
quite simple.
inside.
I was just thinking exactly for
Go
whom.
inside.
So in a way, this is the joke. No matter what you're looking for, you will get it. There is this resonance, this loving of this speaker, this teacher, this therapist. It just perfectly playing out. There is simply no going wrong or right. People who resonate with Tony Parsons are going to watch him. People, and maybe this is going to change. Tomorrow I'm not resonating with this anymore. I go with awareness or whatsoever. It's in a way so it doesn't matter. Sorry.
You always come to this point, Rosa. Finally,
Well,
it's
in a
all
way, it
blah, blah,
doesn't.
blah.
Let's be silly. Let's be silly.
Matters until it doesn't. We can say that. It's quite, it's with everything.
Yeah,
Something matters until it doesn't.
yeah, exactly.
There's no you in between.
Yeah,
There's no you for, ending the mattering or not. It's just,
exactly. That's the freedom. That's the freedom.
but even if it's, even if there's a belief that it matters to you or a feeling that it matters for you, then that's it too until it doesn't. It's quite obvious, these types of things, that it matters until it doesn't.
Garrett, does it matter for you?
What the question was now. I was thinking about something else for a moment ago again. I was wondering if that book by Nisargadatta, well, I can't say his name, if that was a good book or not. I Am That. I noticed that.
Well, read it. Read it, Garrett. Why are you asking someone? Just read the goddamn book.
I threw it
like
away.
it.
Let me think what I was going to say. Tony Parsons threw the book away. He said I threw it in the trash. A bit like an American. He said I threw it in the trash. And then I was watching his colleague Richard Sylvester, and Richard has got it in his library. And you can see it there in bright yellow. So the one guy chucked it away, and his colleague has retained it and reckoned it's a good book. And I wonder what your opinion is on that book.
But what do you want, Garrett? It's not about what somebody else here going to tell you. What do you want? Do you think it's worth to read that book?
I can't read it so good now since I had the stroke. It's very hard to read any book.
But maybe there's a spoken version of this book.
Oh, I suppose.
So maybe Tony is saying, well, it's a good book. Maybe Rose is saying, well, I never read it.
Yeah, I never, I never read it, and I'm not going to read it.
Gio was saying, well, he thinks it's a good book.
It's a very confusing book.
It's a confusing book. I read it also, but when he starts saying you have to stay with something, I'm already gone. So I mean, well, maybe you can try yourself to read it.
It was easier book to read
Tony,
than.
bye, Tony.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, sweetheart.
Let me tell the last thing, no?
Tell me.
At the end, there is no misunderstanding, because this is not misunderstandable, because it's not understandable.
Beautiful.
Words are always misunderstood, but this is not.
Tony, beautiful.
Goodbye.
Oh, good night.
See you
on Tuesday.
What the hell are you saying, Tony?
Did you see the face of Tony Daniels? Tony, what's up there?
It's okay, we're safe. He's gone now.
No, but Garrett, so does it matter what Tony Parsons do or Sylvester? What does it matter? Why?
Well, nothing really, but as they both sing from the same hymn sheet, the one chucked the book away, and the other one, he refers to it very often. So there's no, what's the word? They're not all agreeing about this non-duality business. Everyone's got different.
But wait, Garrett, do you think that this is all about agreeing after the same thing? Only when I agree with all the other speakers and I see it that way, then it's done?
I thought it would be a little bit like that.
How come?
Well, I don't know. You see this popular speakers now, and they all tend to refer back to Tony Parsons, whether it's, you know the name of them.
Where are all the other speakers? The Ramana and the Nis. It's all ashes. Soon this so-called Parson and everyone, it will be ash.
The only one I ever used to read always was Krishnamurti, J. Krishnamurti. I listened to him for years, and I couldn't quite understand it at all, but it made me feel good.
Yeah, I know a lot of
Oh,
people
he's
who
a
love
really
Jiddu.
he's a really difficult read. Krishnamurti, very
Yeah.
difficult read.
A lot of
I
people
remember,
love him,
yeah.
Jiddu Krishnamurti. A lot. What was he doing actually? A teacher, right? He was a teacher. He wanted in a way to make this world a better place, to make the people better, to make them more clear, or what was the it was about consciousness, right? He was talking
Well,
about consciousness.
he said that I am is violent.
Well, he
He
said a
said,
lot of things.
he said a lot of things. Once he told what his secret was.
That there is
All
no
his
secret?
so-called all his so-called devotees were gathering, and then he said, "I'm going to tell you guys what my secret is."
Oh,
And they
yes. That's one of
and
my favorites. Yes.
then he said,
What did he say?
There is
"I
no secret.
don't mind what happens."
Yeah.
Exactly,
Yeah, he
exactly.
said, I don't mind what happens. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah. I totally relate
I
to
would
that.
agree in a way.
And the funny thing is that everyone is trying to reach that state, and it's not going to happen, Garrett. You will never reach the state where nothing matters.
Oh,
Don't believe him, Garrett.
Because there's already no you in a state that everything matters.
yes, that's a good point. Yeah. I thought that what your German friend
Colleague
Andrea, what else is his name now? Muller. I thought Mr. Muller knew everything,
Andreas Müller.
and especially now that Mei Long is translating it to Chinese language. Imagine all those Chinese people reading.
How you know he know everything, Garrett?
Well,
How do you know that Andreas knows everything?
well, I wouldn't say everything, but he's easy to listen to, and he always has
I'm just trying to get my head around Chinese people trying to understand Andrea Muller. Because well, you really go for the radicals, don't you, Gareth? I mean, gosh.
My neighbor is also easy to understand.
Did you say your neighbors?
My neighbor's child from 4 years is also easy to understand. What has this to do with Andreas Müller?
I thought I would get something from listening to.
And what do you expect to get?
Well, more happiness, from a number 4 up to a number 9. And it hasn't happened yet.
I think you have to talk with Tony.
Well, that's a worthwhile pursuit, actually, Gareth. More happiness. That's what most people want.
Exactly.
Yes, yes.
More happiness and the avoidance of suffering. That's
Yes.
it.
Yeah.
How to get it.
How to get it?
That's the question.
The older you become, the problem it goes with your age. The problem, what's the word?
Dissolves?
Dissolves, usually. Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
When my Stollen arrives, I'll be very happy.
Yeah, I think
guess
getting old
you're the one
sometimes
with
helps.
Gio?
I said, no, really, sometimes getting older helps.
Mm.
You get something.
You simply, there is simply not the energy in a way gets less, and you have not enough energy, which is driving the whole shit show,
Oh, yes, and then you start to ponder your own mortality.
Yeah,
which
is very healthy.
Rotten. Soon the flesh were rotten.
Not mine, maybe yours, but not my flesh.
Maybe it will burn, I mean, let's say you came with nothing and you leave with nothing. You're always on the plus, so
Oh, fuck.
don't bother
I
about it.
think it's very healthy to think about death.
Yeah, Gareth, get back to, doing your practices. Get back to that. Try that.
I remember the name of my mantra.
We'll get back to it then.
And I started speaking to
I can
my
give
colleagues.
I can give you a check if you like.
I think
I can give
everybody
you.
at the same in the TM. Everybody at the same mantra.
Well, they don't actually, but that doesn't matter. But I can give you a check if you like.
What's a check? You mean some money?
No, no, a meditation check. I can do that for you. Free. It's free.
Well,
like
I
a
enjoyed
check.
the mantra I had from the lady. Did you know Mother Mira? No, you don't suppose Mother Mira. You don't know her.
No, she didn't teach that. Mother Mira.
Ah,
She lives in Germany, doesn't she?
yes.
I can't
Rosa
remember
may
where in
pop and
Germany.
see her.
No,
There,
thank you.
there are many mothers living in Germany.
Roxa's probably quite nearby. Maybe she's actually. I think Rosa is probably secretly seeing Mother Mira, but she's not telling anyone in
It's
this
easy
Definitely.
Zoom.
to.
I
It's
have two
easy
friends.
to.
I have two girlfriends called Mira.
Yeah.
Are they mothers?
Mera.
Are they mothers?
Mera.
Oh, and they call her Mother Rosa. So that's already sounding like, some sort of guru, isn't it? Mother Rosa. Go and see Mother Rosa.
In
Just
Germany, you would recognize Mother Mira in Germany. She's an Indian lady with a red spot.
Oh, that just means, what does that mean? What does that Sander, you've been
Married.
Oh yeah.
Ah,
Really? She's not married, is she?
yes. She can use
But
an electric pillow.
sometimes they have no. Sometimes someone like that, a saint, that she's supposed to be a saint. That red spot means that she's married with the divine,
Fine, yes.
married with God, or what? So, yeah.
She has a very big following. A man I used to know, he went to see Mother Mira because, well, going back a little bit before that, this gentleman had a vision in his bedroom, a vision. He saw these brown eyes, a lady's eyes, and he didn't know who she was. And
In the bedroom, was it his wife?
no, but he saw this lady on the television and on a book cover in the bookshop, and she was what's the word, like drawn towards going to see her, and he went to see Mother Mira.
Garrett, sweetheart, sorry for interrupting your beautiful story, but tell me, please, how to get rid of the suffering, how to get more happy.
Well, as I said earlier, and what Gio also said, as you get older, you haven't got the problem then.
Oh,
So in a way, so just wait long enough. If you are
The
happy,
problem will be resolved. Yeah, yeah.
Gio, what would you say? How to get rid of suffering and become more happy?
I would say that there is no way to end time taking time.
Explain, please.
Oh,
Take time.
how can you take time but without, how can you gradually eradicate time? You cannot.
why would you want to do that?
To get
Well,
happy.
that's a good question. In my case, because I maybe sometime, when I was younger, I started questioning what was time, whether time really existed or time did not exist. But then I arrived at the conclusion that there is no way to get rid or understand time taking time. It's or you get it or you don't get it. You cannot, it's the same as saying you cannot be not an object by being an object. You cannot do it gradually.
Wow, you've really gone into a mind maze there.
Yeah, it seems to be that my mind
Can't really
likes
follow that.
these questions. It likes to dive into these things, but including birth and death, I like to talk about that. I think it's a very interesting issue.
Yeah, I
Time,
remember,
space, birth,
Gio, I
death.
remember because you mentioned like with the death. I remember that I wasn't thinking about death because I was afraid to do so. It simply was not the topic. Then I got pregnant, and there was, in a way, I felt, oh, you should maybe think about it. But it was another time to get a baby now, you know? So again, the topic of death wasn't there. And then innocently so, this popped up because my mother got cancer, so she was about to die. And this topic, death, was very present. And this is in a way how I was confronted with death. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that usual people that not normal, common people in the planet, all of them has this shadow hanging over them. It's like a knife,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
death. You cannot deny
Taboo.
it.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's a
it's
taboo. Let's
it
don't
doesn't
talk
make.
about this and just
Yeah,
just see how to save the day like as good
yeah.
as you can. And
And
yeah.
please don't talk about
Everyone
death.
will be good in being dead. You don't have to practice now. It's natural. You don't have to practice that.
No, it's
Everyone will
about
be
the fear,
starring it,
sweetheart.
you know?
It's about not to be confronted in daily life with this underlying fear of not being there.
Exactly.
Well, not being where.
Well, it's just the idea, whatever this is, there is this fear, or this was
We
here playing out. It was
Yeah, but
simply
it's
a
it's
fear.
only, when there is a sense of you being here, then there's the sense of, let's say, if there's a sense of being a separated individual having a life, it's not the fear of death, it's the fear of losing something which you already
yeah
have. You
yeah,
don't have
but you
life. You will never lose it. This will just simply end. As
It's the fear of living.
it's the fear, yeah, it's the fear of this will just simply stop, and there will be no experience of the stopping as there was no experience of the beginning. There's nothing more to it.
yes, but that's the way the issue started. That most of the normal, common people have this underlying background
Exactly.
of fear.
Exactly.
So we are talking, right?
But as Tony said, fear of life, that's the problem, not
Yeah,
fear of death.
Yeah,
totally.
The fear of life, yes, it's the fear
yeah,
of maybe coming back as a German, or that it will never end.
yeah. Fear of losing your bank account, fear of losing your beautiful car and house and
As
friends.
good as this shit will stop someday, right? Come
Yeah,
on.
No, what? No
All
more
this talk
pizza?
about non-duality and all the
pizza.
bullshit. Oh my God, it would be nice if it stops.
I
Yeah,
was
but
really, yeah.
the way you are speaking, Sander, it's like falling on the other side of the horse. You
Wow.
know, you you jump too high to fall into the horse, but it was too high and you fall in the
I
other
cannot
side.
say it otherwise. For me, it's just, these things with that, this was interesting when I was a little kid, and I mean, let's say I've been around that many times. Today, I killed an animal, right? I shot it and it was screaming, and it didn't took well, the gunshot, so I had to take him by the neck.
You
That's
mean the
not,
Well, that's it.
hase, the
yeah,
Well,
hase,
Sander,
Sander.
that's it. You're never going to get enlightened now. I mean, that's
well,
it. You've had your
no, of
He
course
chance.
not.
messed it up thousand
Well,
times
the
already.
good thing is I'm not interested either in getting anywhere, including getting enlightened. So
Yeah,
on that,
sweetheart, yeah, but what the point is with Gio, I totally get it. He's talking about the common people, the majority.
oh
And
yes,
I totally felt it. I was afraid of life. I was simply
Of course.
scared of life, of living. I was scared of dying. There was just fear. And you can say underlying, then more. And this was always like kind of trying
because
to
it's about
survive.
you. When it's about you, it's always a
Yeah.
thing. When it's about
Yeah.
you, then it's always fear.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes,
When
yes.
it's all about you, then
And
everything
because,
is
sweetheart, you
difficult.
said that there was never the sense of a me with you. So of course this
No,
is not playing there. Of course
but
not.
I'm not
Yeah.
saying, that I'm not saying here because some seem to claim, that it will go on forever and you're not deadly. But I mean, that for me, it's just another bullshit. This,
Oh,
this,
this is
this,
crap.
this will end. Let's
Yes.
face. As far as it seems, this will end, but it will not end for a you. It never started for you already.
Yeah.
There's no experience of the beginning nor of the end. And the
Yeah.
seeming experience in the middle is just what seems to be an experience. Nothing more, nothing less. There's no actual experience of the middle either. As a separated you and life which is experienced. You can say there's just an experience.
I can understand that. That's quite easy to understand, but all that business about awareness and that is much more difficult, isn't it?
Well, Gareth, that's just for the really advanced people. So
The
Yeah, you have to
awareness
go
bit.
to another group. Here are no, I mean, here are
you have to go to the advanced Zoom meeting to get
yeah.
that secret information.
It's only given to those who are special.
You mean the awareness business?
No, but at the same time, Gio, fear is fear. Yes, I'm not saying that there is not. I meet people who are fearful of that. You can say fearful of life. Yes. What about it?
Are you making a question? I did not get it.
Well, I mean, so there seems to be people being fearful. They have the sense that it's all about them and their life. We can say in a way that's the fear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can say that's the problem. The me, the
Yeah.
sense of a me, separation is the problem. But
I'm
I'm not
born.
seeing a problem in it.
I have a life. I will die.
It's
Maybe it's
always,
going to be painful.
yeah, it's always about me.
Everywhere are threats, cancer, this. Nowadays, two of the two people get cancer, so it's a 50-50% chance, yeah, chance I can get it. It's inescapable. How can you? It's just there's no escape in that way. This body, this physical system is just functioning on its own. There's no you making the cells, act crazy.
Yeah, when the suffering is high, there is kind of an opening to hear the so-called message. There is no separation. There is no you already. Just happens automatically. It's just simply how the cookie crumbles. So there are quite a lot of people who love this message then because it's hopeless.
Well, yeah.
And of course, they try also to apply it, the so-called applied non-duality. Okay, sure, there is no me, so well, I cannot do anything, so why should I worry?
It's not going to happen. This types of so-called bypassing will never work. It will just simply
Applied
never work.
non-duality is more like a joke, right?
Yeah,
It will
but
never
this is it
work.
too. Yeah, but that's it
Hey,
too.
Giovanni, I was in another Zoom immediately before this Zoom. It's the first time I did like a back-to-back Zoom. Anyway, that Zoom was all about awareness. It was all about silence.
And you loved it, Tony. You loved this.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's talking my kind of language, isn't it?
No,
I mean,
okay, but can you please talk about awareness in a positive way? How do you understand it? I mean, maybe we are misunderstanding. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, I love
what
when
do you
you
want me to
start,
talk about it in a negative
when you
way?
start asking Tony to talk in a positive way about awareness. And I see the
Gio,
eyes
this
of
is
Tony go,
impossible.
what are you
Yeah,
talking
I've got,
about?
yes, Gio, I have some very positive things to say about awareness.
This guy is positivity only.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, you were in this Zoom meeting and people were talking about awareness. They were not
No,
laughing
it
about
wasn't.
it.
It wasn't a Zoom meeting. It was a satsang.
OMG. What does satsang mean? What does satsang mean?
It means
Dwelling in the truth.
A meeting
gathering
in
of the
gathering,
wise, being in the presence of the
truth.
wise.
a
Yeah, the
gathering
truth,
in
or
truth.
yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah,
the
okay.
gathering in truth. Yeah.
So here
No,
it's
it was just
hopeless.
something. It was just something I saw in one of the groups. I thought I'd sort of lots of talk about Ramana Maharshi and self-inquiry and stuff like that.
Well,
You
but
know.
I don't
And
think
then I came to
Ramana
this
Maharshi.
Zoom. Can you imagine how disappointing that was? I mean,
Oh my
come on,
God.
it
But
just-
I can, Gio, I can do it. I can do it for you, sweetheart. I can beautifully talk about consciousness and awareness in a very positive way, in a very empowering. I remember I had a so-called helper, teacher, if you like, no teacher, but the friend who helped me in a way through the shit. And he was a huge fan from Jiddu Krishnamurti. And I loved something, the way he expressed whatever this was, I loved it. And of course, I heard what I wanted to hear. And the rest I simply overheard. And because I was with him very intensively doing this, I'm in a way already have a praxis in this. And he loved the way of when I was talking about this, he loved the directness and the empowerment, because the people coming there were kind of totally suffering. And he tried simply to give them motivation to go on, to go on. So you need a more motivative, empowering stuff. And this was very interesting. And then he said to me, Rosa, you know what? You can start to do your own satsangs. And I was like, oh my gosh, no.
What does
Rosa,
this to
you've
do
just given me an idea, Rosa.
I
I'm going to
don't
write
see.
a book. I'm going to
I
write a
don't see
book,
any
Rosa, and
problems.
I'm going to write a book, Rosa, and I'm going to call it "How to Get Through the Shit."
I love it. I love it.
Did
But
you
I don't
recommend?
see any problems with satsang.
Oh,
I
of
mean,
course not, Gio.
there is something that is incomprehensible when you meet wise people, and I consider you all wise. I mean, it's different meeting people who talk about beer or football or politics, right? Something seems to resonate when the subject is
Yeah, but
Gio, that's really, really funny because when I was in the other Zoom that was a satsang, they were talking about football.
And they're drinking beer.
No, there wasn't any beer.
Oh, okay.
I felt like a beer, but there wasn't
yeah, I
any.
shouldn't have given this kind of example, but I just want to say that meeting people who are not people anymore has a power.
Let's go in part 3, sweethearts, if you like. You want to continue?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
give it a try.
Okay.
Yeah, why not?
We can
Let's
try,
go for
yes.
it.
Let's wake Tony. Let's keep him awake all night, Tony.